So, what the project is this is a piston from it's a 6 horsepower. Well, you know, I can see some damage already on this piston, but it's not one of them things where that you stop now. You need to clean it up and see what the extent of what I see, and I'll explain it to you because you probably can't see it on camera. But on the bottom half of that housing right there, there's a chip gone out of it. You know, I have a wrist pin for the other one, and it won't go in there until it comes out of that electrolysis, but it'll be something to consider, but it does not render the piston from being used as is once it's cleaned up. There's no damage to the, it's just a piece missing, and it's a clean. So we're gonna put this in that electrolysis tank and free them rings up. It's a International M, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rings, a 6 horsepower, slash cut, probably original. They look pretty thick, but they're stuck. So I think we can clean them up to make them usable. But there's some rust right here. It's really deep, and sometimes that weakens the metal, and it makes it brittle as far as rings is concerned. But I think electrolysis will come through on this project, and that being my choice for the simple reason, I also think this right here is a good candidate for that. Hey, get in a gallon over or whatever it is. I have some, but anyway, costs a lot to get enough to submerge this. And that when it comes to this electrolysis too, if you put your item that you're going to electrolysis in a tank that's not big enough to cover the item completely, with a water level of some distance above the item. If you don't do that, if you have part of this sticking out of the suds up here, you're destined for failure with this process immediately, because once you clean the rest of this right here, it appears that you never get that part as clean as that part. So you clean the whole piece at one time. Write that on the wall, on that black piece of work. But and the other thing is, you're gonna be tempted to put a coat hanger to use here, and if you go that route, you're also destined for failure. Especially if you get that one got them vinyl coating on them, you can't make contact and get a good amp flow. You may get some activity, but you need a positive current amp flow there. So, and if you think, yeah, I can use some of that wire out of that Romex, I can skin that cover off of it, that copper wire, that'd be perfect. No. The problem arises when you put this copper in this electrolysis is the whole system is designed to be for specific purpose. Even to the same system with the different metals, you can produce hydrogen. So in that light, you steer away from stainless steel. Well, you're tempted to use the old paint bucket that you cleaned up, split it open and put it down in there. Okay, at that point you're destined for failure, but because it's what's in that metal and that electrode. To speak from experience and call back the past, I had a job that, paid the bills for a long time, and we actually, this company was very large, And we had a problem with the storage tanks. They were sitting on maybe limestone, and the natural reaction between the limestone and the metal, or they may have been on sand. Anyways, to the point the erosion of metal by electrolysis was to the point where I had to jack the tanks up and put a different material on them and put them back down. And then this was an outside company that installed the system, but I was fascinated by it. It was, the whole plant was hooked up to like our positive flow. I'm not going to quote you which it was because I don't remember offhand, but like positive and negative, and it should have been negative to positive. And they put these electrodes to change the polarity of our metal to earth reaction. And we did that, and it worked. And but it was electrolysis in that form, industry-wide. But for this piston, and well, once you do this and you have a metal wire here to hang this item up to isolate it, and you use copper, immediately you're going to learn, hey, I need to stop this process right now and get something in there that don't corrode worse than the part of God. So, and you have to use you sense of directions, I guess. Direction of flow. And in this tank that I'm going to set up to clean this right here, we're going to start one. We're going to do that. We're going to hook her up and put current to it, and have a clean product at a very cheap price. Like I say, Vapor-Rust, work perfect here. This would be an ideal, but to use a Vapor-Rust here, I think it costs like about $60 for a couple gallons, to submerge this 100%. You don't want to go no havers or nothing on it because it don't work. You cannot get that discoloration right there where you put the thing upside down again. It's not good. So on this part right here, all I'm going to do is bring this wire up here and secure it a couple times and up like this. Okay, now we can hang this up like that. Okay, with two electrodes, you're actually, so if you've got an electrode right here and right here, these are your electrodes. Okay, this current from this electrode is going to emit in a, I don't know this to be a fact. It's like electricity. You can't see it, but it's doing it. It's actually can see this right here. It does produce a reaction. So I think I should suspend this part sideways like this, so that I can put one electrode in the back, and I can put one electrode in the front, and I can position this right here where the part will hang in that direction. And then, like tomorrow or so, I'll see to it and I'll pick it up and I'll turn it a half a turn like this and let the electrodes go half this way and half this way right here. And the way it works out is if you have an electrode over here, that rust removable force of this, even though it does the whole tank, it's direction specific. So it would go with this. It would be capable of almost cleaning half of this circle. Okay, the other side will clean the other half. And it does, it is active, so it does clean the top and bottom to a certain degree. So I think at some point the rust on this right here is so bad, I'll have to, once I wire brush it, once it's cleaned up, I'm not going to do anything to it. I'm going to put it right in that tank. It's a perfect example. It's dry. It's been on shelf storage for years. It's stuck tight. It's 5 rings. It's an M, 6 horsepower. So I'm going to wire it up. I'm going to add another wire. I'll show you something. And this is all it takes. Any more? Actually, you can put some more parts in with this. But well, you're an airplane out there. Yeah, okay. See, I'm gonna wire it up. Like that right there. So I'm gonna put that in that tank and we'll clean her up. Let's get out there and get the water in it.